this, quartash that. Nothing but the dead Duke in the Gazette right now. The real tragedy here is the Baldur's mouth cutting its puzzle section.
Boo is over. Well, Viconio was a friend for a short time beforehand, but then a foe once more. Yes, Boo, a most wicked witch. The very mention of her name gives him nightmares to this day. Boo and Minsk have traveled far and wide, and met many fine and not so fine people. It will surprise you to learn that even the wisest of friends do not always recognize Boo for what he is. Of course, but also a miniature giant space hamster. The Drow was a cruel witch, but a clever one. She knew what Boo was right away, and she had never seen his like before. She wished to inspect his handsome magnificence, and so she did. One night, while he lay asleep, twitching his whiskers in happy dreams, she crept upon his tiny bedroll holding a knife as slim as a toothpick. She meant to spill his miniature guts and study them. I did not get the chance. Boo never sleeps deeply while evil is near. He sprang into action and almost blinded the witch. She had fled from her camp by morning, when Boo told me the whole tale over a breakfast of berries and nuts.
Hard to believe she is dead, after all that she did to me. I do not often doubt myself. But surviving Orin took courage and strength I was not sure I had. I could not have faced her without you. Like a dream half realized, our fight is not done. While the brain is still free, and we are still infected, we will never be safe. But we can talk of this later. For now, let us be glad that we still draw breath, and that Orin does not.
You fought hard to win back control over yourself. I can only imagine how you feel. Congratulations. I thought we would be able to help her. I thought we would be able to keep her safe. No matter how long I live, I will never get used to the cruelties that infest our world. That such evil is allowed to breathe the same air as us is an abomination. There must be no more Yenne's. The city, you mean? With all its noise, smoke, stone, and bustle? I would not be here given the choice, but I promised you my support, and that is what you shall have. Still, though, this place crawls with life, but little of it flourishes. I see refugees unhoused, the destitute unwanted, orphans unloved. The city is like a forest with an overgrown canopy. Light and nourishment cannot penetrate to those who need it the most, and still it draws them in. The safety of numbers, the promise of civilization, the dream of better. All that potential is too often destined to die in the dark and rot in the gutter. I wish there was a better way. I wish everyone could see the sun, have a full belly, and know nature as a friend. There is a balance that is yet to be found. Listen to me, preaching like an initiate in his cups. You are right, but such drastic times can make it difficult to preserve nuance in one's thinking. Further reflection is needed. But that must wait for now. There are battles yet to be fought. We must save the world before we can dream of ways to better it. And a hard-won freedom at that. Well done.
It is not in a Githyanki's nature to say thank you. Our language doesn't even have a phrase for it. Kraith Khan Jan is the closest equivalent I know. May your enemies know agony. But after releasing me from Orin's grip, there is only one proper response. Thank you. Sincerely. Well, good then. Let's carry on.
You're cured. You're free. This merits a celebration. You did what you had to do to get yourself right. To choose the life you wanted to live. Very fucking proud of you, mate. Seriously.
No room in your party. What should I do?
Let's hop.
You're so adorable when you're thinking what to say. All right, let's talk. Who knows when we'll have another chance? Nothing special, of course. You're only the first person who I truly care for. You're so adorable when you're thinking what to say. Yes, my sweet. What is it? It would be nice not to have to rely on you as my great protector. But, well, I do appreciate the thought. I want you by my side as well. Now that you're free, we can craft a new future together. How could I say no? I do rather like that, you know.
You wish to consult me? There's no space for me. I suggest you make one. Then let us go forth and conquer. Or something to that effect.
Your new lease of life suits you rather well. What do you and your newborn vitality require of me? I'd be delighted, though someone else will need to watch the cookpot, of course. Magical. So, shall we? Let me work my magic.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Never much time for lords myself, but from what I read, Gortash was a stand-up bloke.
No one back home will ever believe this.
All the answers you need once official investigations are concluded. So what's the history?
And the Elder Brain triggered their transformation. But was it deliberate or accidental?
Done.
Discover where it is hidden before that happens.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic, as though the weave itself were coursing beneath her stony skin.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Your goddess awaits. Hear her out, but remember that you do not owe her obedience, and you certainly do not owe her your life.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mistra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. You have more faith in her than even I did. Understandable, though, when you have not loved her as deeply, or known the depths of her affections. When I pictured this moment, I thought I'd feel more in control. Yet, here I am, with palms sweatier than a bugbear's armpit. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. I don't suppose you can imagine what it's like to have your god as your lover. It was intoxicating. An experience beyond expression. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mistra has provided is for me alone. No one else is permitted to enter it, no matter how talented a user of the weave they are. Mistra's forgiveness? If you want me to claim the crown of Karsus, she'll hardly be in a forgiving mood after that. I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of 3 Dragon Ante. I'll let Mistra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to Godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, The Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
Great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
Mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw it. After all this time. And what you felt was but the slightest drop, drawn from the rushing torrent that is the weave. I confess, without my former prowess, even I struggle to stand her presence. The effects on the mortal body of such unfettered magical exposure cannot be overestimated. She held back in order to protect us, to make sure I heard her. The Karsite weave, within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? True enough. There's a reason such unwitting heroes have been the backbone of lyric and legend for as long as both have existed. Even so, I was hardly some naive apprentice at the time. I considered myself an archmage, and yet was fool enough to be mistaken for a common conjurer. At least now I'm armed with the truth, and Mistra's expectations. Sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Perhaps. I see few other options open to me. If I ever want to reclaim those parts of myself the orb snatched away. If I ever want to be me again. I'll have to disagree with you there. Having not one but two parasitic entities within your body does very little for one's faith in one's personality. Still, I should take the compliment with the same generosity it was given, so thank you. If I can promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down. Now, I believe we've a date with an Elder Brain to get to. Shall we?
Nothing hurts anymore.
Many misunderstand the Lord of Death, but I am not one of them. Be welcome here, Cleric of Kelemvor. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day? That is no surprise, Holy One. You have entered the Stormshore Tabernacle. Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls. My purpose is to connect every soul with their divine patron. How could I do that if I couldn't distinguish what deities they serve?
Be very, very quiet. With pleasure. Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us.
Tempers are rising.
Can't give up now.
Welcome back, child of faith. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
That's a friendly-looking shadow.
Let's see what you're hiding.
Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us. What is it? Traps. How considerate.
Taking my time in the shadows.
Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us.
Still in control. Just. Mine's never quiet. All right, what now? Let's move. Blood? No, never mind. All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. no choice but to keep going. as ash and meat.